Belinda presents this unabridged recording of After the Fire, A Still Small Voice, written by Evie Wyld and read by David Tredinnick. The dedication reads, For the Strangers. Chapter 1. The sun turned the narrow dirt track to dust. It rose like an orange tide from the wheels of the truck and blew in through the window to settle in Frank Collard's arm hair. He remembered the place feeling more tropical, the soil thicker and wetter. The sugarcane on either side of the track was thin and reedy, wild, with a brown husk and sick-looking green tops. The same old cane that hadn't been harvested in 20 years swayed like a green sea. Blue gums and box trees hepped out of it, not bothered with the dieback. Once it would all have been hardwood. In the time his grandparents had lived out here, just the two of them, before the new highway, maybe then this place was a shack in the woods. The clearing was smaller than he remembered, like the cane had slunk closer to the pale wooden box hut. The banana tree stooped low over a corrugated roof. He turned off the engine and sagged in his seat for a moment, taking it in. There was a tweak at the back of his neck, and when he slapped it, his palm came away bloody. Home again, diggity-dig. He could have driven here without thinking. He could have turned the radio up loud and listened to the memorial service at Australia Zoo. They were calling them revenge killings, the stingrays found mutilated up and down Queensland beaches. He could have let his hands steer him to Mullaburry, those same roads he'd hitched along as a kid, sun-scarred and spotty, scrawny as a feral dog, without the bulky calves and wide hands he had now. But never mind that. He'd still pulled over onto the slip road and smoothed out the map and read aloud the places, and he still sent his eyes over and over the landmarks, searching for the turn-offs he knew were not written down. The tension in his arms had got so strong he wanted to bust a fist through the windscreen, but instead, as a road train roared by and rocked the ute in its wake, he'd clutched the wheel, crumpling the map as he did it, feeling small tears made by his fingertips. He had gripped the wheel hard so that it burnt, and he pushed like it might relieve the feeling in his arms. But it didn't help, and then he was outside, banging his fists on the bonnet for all that he was worth, his nose prickling, his throat closed up, the bloody feel of some bastard terrible thing swimming inside him. And when he was done and spent, he had climbed back into the truck and refolded the buggered map, and when he couldn't make it fit together, he'd laughed softly and started the engine. The air outside was thick with insect noise, heavy with heat, and the old gums groaned. The padlock on the door was gone, and the idea that some other bastard might have claimed the place as his own nearly made him turn round and shoo all the way back to Canberra. The whole thing was suddenly harebrained. Tearing through drawers at home, trying to find some sort of clue as to what he was supposed to be doing, he'd found an envelope with a picture of his mum in, taken on one summer holiday at the shack. There she was, hanging up a sheet in the sun, the same wide teeth as him, the same sort of boneless nose. Different hair, though. Hers, a blonde animal that moved in the wind. He was like his father, wiry, black, not from these parts. By her shoulder was the window, and inside you could just make out a jam jar with a flower in it. It was like being smacked on the arse by God. Couldn't have been more than a month after she was hanging up that sheet that they'd been driving in his dad's old brown Holden when a truck hadn't stopped at the intersection. When he woke up, there was no more mum, and no more old brown Holden. It wasn't difficult getting out of the rental agreement. He'd been late and short in the last 3 months since Lucy left. A week from then, and he was on the road. 2 suitcases of clothes.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?